What's up guys, PSGINT here, back with another video. Today we will be starting this new series called PSGINT Predictions. And as you all know by the name, I'm going to predict every Friday. I'm gonna put out this video predicting the upcoming fixtures. Sometimes I maybe do a Champions League special one, but we will see. So I will be predicting all the big games and all the big sides games. So if we say PSG play against the low side, I will predict them. But then if Inter plays Lazio, for example, I will predict them. So I believe we have 24 games to predict this time. So let's get straight into it. First of all, we got the FA Cup. So no Premier League games this weekend, only FA Cup. First one is Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. And for me, this is a pretty straightforward win for Arsenal. They have been on great form this season. Even, I would say, outplaying Manchester City, playing better than them at least. Even though they didn't get the win, they lost. But it's still a lot of improvement from Mikel Arteta's men. I believe a 4-1 victory for Arsenal this game. Aubameyang will probably maybe score 2 goals because he loves the cups. Especially with Arsenal, like last 2 seasons, 3 seasons, his only important stuff have been in the cup. So, yeah, pretty straightforward for Arsenal this game. 4-1. Next up, we have Swindon Town versus Manchester City. Yet again, very straightforward. City don't have problems against small teams, especially in the cup. They usually they toy with these teams. So I'm gonna say a 5-0 victory and probably 5 different players scoring the goals. So yeah, 5-0 for me. Next up, we have Chelsea versus Chesterfield. Again, it's in the FA Cup. Chelsea doesn't score that much goals in a game, even if the opponent isn't that good. So I would say a 3-0 victory. Maybe a Jorginho penalty, maybe a Hudson-Odoi goal. But 3-0, again, comfortable. All these cup ties so far have been comfortable for the big sides. Shrewsbury versus Liverpool. Again, straightforward. 4-0 win to Liverpool. The young kids will do the job. Curtis Jones, Minamino, Origi. All these players will have a very wonderful time against Shrewsbury Town. 4-0. And the last FA Cup round this weekend, it's played on Monday. It's Manchester United versus Aston Villa. Out of all the cup ties, this of course is a very tight one because Aston Villa have been good ever since Gerrard joined them. And yeah, they have lost maybe half of their games because they played amazing teams. They lost against City, they lost against Liverpool, they lost against Chelsea, I believe. So against big teams, maybe they're not there yet. But as we all know, United have struggled this season, so an upset is possible. But I don't believe it will happen, especially with Man United already out early on in the EFL Cup. So I believe United will just get the win, 2-1 to Manchester United. Moving on from the FA Cup, we go to the La Liga BBVA Santander, the Spanish league. First game, FC Barcelona versus Granada. So Barcelona pushing into the top 4 of La Liga after a very bad start, maybe their worst start in their history, maybe. But they will win this game for me, 1-0. Maybe a Gavi goal, maybe a Nico goal, who knows? But I don't see Barcelona smashing Granada because Granada aren't that bad of a team. They played Europa League last season and beat Napoli, I believe. Yeah, so Barca will get the win, but it will be an ugly win. It will be like a corner goal or something, Araujo or anything, because they don't have that attacking threat anymore. I know Ansu Fati is good and Depay is good and Dembele is good, but as a side they haven't been threatening attacking wise. So 1-0 to FC Barcelona. Next up, It's a big game in La Liga. It's Valencia contre Real Madrid. Real Madrid, of course, top of the league, 10 points clear. They have been really good in La Liga this season, winning against all the big sides, winning against Atletico Madrid, winning against the Barcelona. Yeah, again, they will win versus Valencia. I predicted 2-1 to Real Madrid. Benzema, Vinicius saving them as usual. Next up, Villarreal versus Atletico Madrid. So it's a tight game. Atletico Madrid haven't been that great so far this season. They haven't caught up with Real Madrid, but they won their last game very good. Angel Correa scoring a brace. So I believe that I don't know, because Villarreal, I mean, they haven't been good as well this season under Unai Emery, but they can still put out a result because they have great players in their squad. So I'm gonna say a 1-1, and it's mostly because Atletico Madrid are so bad at getting the job done, especially this season. So I'm gonna say 1-1. Next up, we have Getafe versus Sevilla. So Sevilla trying their best to be right behind Real Madrid, with Real Madrid just losing to Getafe last weekend, 1-0. So Getafe aren't that bad of a side. They are actually very good. They played in Europa League as well maybe 2 seasons ago. So don't like make them a bad team. They aren't that bad. But I think that Sevilla will get the job done with a 2-0 result in the end. Next up, we have Real Betis versus Rayo Vallecano. Once again, these two teams are pushing much more above their weight for the squad value of their players. Real Betis have been really good this season, getting a win against Barcelona in the Camp Nou. So I'm gonna say 2-1 to Real Betis. It's a tight game. Both of these teams want to win, want to continue on their journey this season. But I believe that Real Vallecano, their hot run has slipped, and Real Betis will get a victory. 2-1. Moving on from the La Liga, we go to the Serie A, the Italian league. First game, Inter versus Lazio. So Inter's game yesterday was abandoned due to I don't remember the corona problem with, who did they play? Cagliari or something. So they are one game in hand against their rivals, against Lazio. Very good team. If you had this game last season, I would say Lazio. They have actually played the season before. Lazio won. If you remember that Felipe to Correa celebration happened that game. But ever since that game, Lazio's defense has been so terrible. They conceded 3 goals to Empoli. So I don't see Lazio keeping a clean sheet or even being close to it. But they are great at scoring goals, because they also scored 3 goals against Empoli. As well know, Luis Alberto, Felipe Anderson, Milinkovic-Savic, Ciro Immobile, Caicedo, all of these guys are so good at scoring goals. So I believe it will be a goal fest this game. 3-2. Make sure to watch this game if you have time, because it will be good. Promise you. Next up, we have Napoli versus Sampdoria. So Napoli slipped up yet again in the title race for the Serie A title, getting a 1-1 draw against Juventus. I know it's not a bad team, but still they have big ambitions, especially in the beginning when they were like on an 11-win streak. Sampdoria not coming in with any heat. I think that Napoli will win this game. Not much problems. 2-0 Napoli. Next up, Juventus versus Roma. Roma as well slipped up in the top 4 race last weekend, losing to AC Milan 3-1. So they will try to bounce back, but they're playing against Juventus, who are on a really good form ever since their bad run in the beginning. So I believe this game will end in a 2-2, because both teams want the win. Both teams are great. I believe Juventus won the last time they played. maybe 1-0. So Roma will try to get a bit of revenge against them. So I'm going to say 2-2. Next up, we have Atalanta versus Udinese. Yeah, again, straightforward. Atalanta want at least a top 4 finish. Maybe, who knows, compete for the title. Udinese in the bottom, laying down there. So I believe Atalanta will win 2-1. They usually score a lot of goals, but Udinese are a very compact defensive side. They have great defenders. So I believe they will try to maybe park the bus for this game. So 2-1 Atalanta. Next up, Milan versus Venezia. I believe that Milan will win this game. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, of course, is back. Got an assist against Roma, but also missed a penalty. But I believe that Milan will win. They won the first game against Venezia away, with Maldini scoring a goal. So I believe Milan will just do that again at home, but in a more beautiful way, scoring goals. Zlatan probably on the score sheet. Lyon is also back for Milan, so it's a very big plus for them. So I'm going to say 4-1 Milano. Next up, we move to the Ligue 1. The Ligue 1 Uber Eats. First game, it's a big game. Paris Saint-Germain versus Olympique de Leone. I mean, PSG won the first game at home, 2-1 in the last minute, Icardi scoring a header. So it was a very tough game for both sides, and I believe the same will happen again in Lyon. But I believe PSG will again get a 2-1 win. How they will get it, I don't know. Will Lyon score first, as they did at the Parc des Princes? Again, I don't know. So we will hope for the best. Messi is back from his COVID. So it will be a very exciting game to watch, and this is also a game you should try to watch, because Ligue 1 games, especially between the two big clubs, it's always a great match to watch. 2-1 Paris Saint-Germain. Next up, Olympique de Marseille versus Bordeaux Girondins. Marseille doing their most, trying to catch up to Paris Saint-Germain and Nice. But I believe it will go their way. They will win 3-1, because Bordeaux isn't that good. They are in the bottom of the league, and Marseille play very attacking football. So I believe that Bordeaux will leak some goals. So 3-1 to Marseille. Next up, Stade Rennais versus Lyon. Yeah, again, Rennes are trying to compete and trying to come closer to Paris Saint-Germain, the top of the table. They sit 4th in the table right now. Whilst Lyon have actually been good. They got a draw against Paris Saint-Germain, sitting 9th in the table, as well as getting points against the big team. So I believe that Lyon will do that again, even though Rennes will try to do everything in their power to win this game. I believe the game will end 2-2. Next up, Nice versus Brest. Nice, same situation as Marseille are in, doing their most to keep a spot in the top 3 for the Champions League spots next season, plus trying to catch up with Paris Saint-Germain, which is a very hard task to do. But I believe, again, it will go Nice's way. They will win 2-0 against Brest. Moving on to the last league, it's the Bundesliga. First game, it's Mönchengladbach versus Bayern München. Last game between these two clubs ended 5-0 to Borussia Mönchengladbach in the DFB Pokal. Mbolo scored 2 and Ben Sebaini scored 2. So Bayern will do everything they can to get revenge on Mönchengladbach, and we know what Bayern want to do when they want to get revenge. They like to score goals. So I'm seeing a 4-1 Bayern Munich demolition. Lewandowski 2 goals, Gnabry 1, Müller 1 goal, 2 assists. It will be a bloodbath from Bayern München to Mönchengladbach. Next up, Dortmund versus Frankfurt. Haaland is back for Dortmund, so it's a very big plus for them. They're out from the Champions League. They have the Europa League, but will they actually care that much? I think they will, but they can now actually focus on the league, because they have fallen off ever since Haaland got injured. But I believe they will win 3-1. Frankfurt is a very good side, but Holland, as we all know, loves to carry Dortmund. And the last game of our prediction, it's Bayer Leverkusen versus Union Berlin. Yeah, I mean, Berlin are sitting in 8th, I believe, in the Bundesliga. Not as good as last season, but still they're a very good side. Come up to Bundesliga just last season. But Bayer Leverkusen sitting in 2nd spot, playing very good football. You have Diaby, you have Wirtz, and you have Schick, you have Alario. So I believe Bayer Leverkusen will win this game. It will be again a goal fest. So a 3-2 to Bayer Leverkusen. Alright guys, here are all the games I talked about and the result predicted I had for them. Am I correct? Am I not? Make sure to comment down below maybe what score you were most against, or which ones you were like, alright, I agree with that. Love to every supporter from these clubs. If you're watching this video, all love to you guys. Other than that, make sure to like this video, subscribe so you never miss another PSGINT prediction. And make sure, as always, have a nice day. Peace.